Good morning. Let's get started back with the bear attacks that changed America. We are going to start with a section titled Highly Intelligent. It is on page 7. Your purpose for reading is to identify facts about grizzly bears. So you're going to highlight the who, what, when, where, why, and how to describe the intelligence of grizzly bears. Let's get started. Please highlight as I highlight or highlight things that you think are important. By the mid-20th century, scientists had come to understand that grizzlies were not mindless monsters. If I can get my highlighter to work, we'll try it. Not mindless monsters. Grizzlies are, in fact, highly intelligent with keen memories. They are shy and usually avoid humans. They eat nearly anything but tend to favor roots and berries. In Glacier, their favorite treats are plump little rodents called marmots. Okay, so it's good to know that they avoid humans. So how do they feel about humans? They're shy around them. They want to avoid them. What do they like to eat? Plump rodents or berries and roots. Grizzlies do have fearsome powers. Okay, let's listen to what are the fearsome powers. Their front paws can crack a skull in one swipe. Their long, sharp claws can tear apart tree stumps. That's incredible. Crack a jaw or crack a skull. Sharp claws. Their jaws can chomp through metal and bone. They can run faster than a galloping horse, swim for hours, and climb high into trees when they want to, which is not very often. Okay, there's a lot of stuff in here. You pick what you think are the two most interesting facts about bears. I think it's interesting that they can swim for hours, but they rarely attack humans. I think that's important to know. Normally, a grizzly attacks only if taken by surprise or if it feels threatened. This does happen on occasion in, turn the page, 1960, a mother bear had attacked 5 hikers on a remote trail. Okay, but it's a mama bear. Such stories were rare, though. Steve and John weren't scared on that July evening when they saw grizzly bears drinking from trout lakes. In fact, the boys felt lucky to see one of the Earth's most amazing creatures in the wild. It is what happened the next evening that filled them with terror. The sun hadn't yet set. The boys were out on the lake, horsing around on a pile of floating logs. Suddenly, they heard a strange sound. They looked over at their campsite. A skinny grizzly was devouring a loaf of bread. They hoped the bear would leave, but then it started to tear apart their backpacks. Okay, this isn't good. So skinny bear devoured their food. So we're switching from intelligence to back. This is just information about our story that we've been listening to about our boys. But then it started to tear apart their backpacks. The boys wanted to save their gear. They shouted at the bear. They thought their voices would scare it off. But that's not what happened. The boys weren't grizzly experts, but something about this bear seemed strange and dangerous. They waited until the bear was distracted by a pan of trout they had prepared for dinner, and they crept to shore. They threw on their boots and fled, praying the bear wouldn't chase after them. John and Steve didn't know What John and Steve didn't know was that Glacier was in the midst of a grizzly crisis. Some grizzlies had lost their natural fear of humans and were behaving aggressive. But it was not the bears that were the real problem. It was people. Okay, that was pretty interesting. So we have 2 parts. We have history of grizzlies, and we're going to record their facts, that they're intelligent. And then we're going to end it with something about that this season or this time period was different, that the bears were behaving in an unusual way, and we're not exactly sure why, but we're going to blame it on the people. Thank you for reading. Fill out your graphic organizer.